Nonsensical Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Every single week we take that walk through the history, the present, and the future bright. Steel City stories shining ever so light. Yeah, Viking, Donkey, Gingy, Lasker, a legendary crew. Talking Steelers football through and through.
That's right, Jackson Jennets. It is Nonsensical Steelers talk. We have Gingy in the house this week. And Gingy, it's getting close to draft time. A little bit of free agencies come in, but we already got your take in that, and really no one else has signed since then. But we haven't talked about reviewing last season, Gingy, and I think this will be the perfect week to start it. And I think we should start by reviewing the performance of every Pittsburgh Steelers Week 1 starter on defense. But Gingy, how you doing? Welcome back.
You're Gingy in the house. We're Nonsensical off-season draft. 1 month away, roughly, from coming to Pittsburgh. I'm excited.
Gingy,
Looking for a what?
Looking for volunteers at the draft, Gingy. I'm just saying.
Oh my! Wouldn't that be a fun time?
Dude, you could live stream and we could put it on the channel. Come on now. Help us out. Content, Gingy. I need it.
It's funny, I know some folks already who are going down and volunteering, Donkey.
Good to hear. Anything you want to talk about here before we get to talking and rating some players?
I don't know. Off-season is crazy. Anything strike you about any proposed rule changes that you heard about?
I believe the Steelers want you to be able to trade 5 years of future draft picks so we can just become the NBA and people will just have like 70,000 first-round picks at some point in their life.
I do believe that was introduced by the Cleveland Browns.
And backed by the Steelers? Yeah, now I really don't like it because we're supporting something the Browns like. Terrible idea.
Right. I agree 100% there, Donkey. I believe there was a mention of the onside kick about being able to declare it any time during the game.
I would like to see that come. I think onside kicks were actually mediocrely successful last year, surprisingly. Back to about on par rates. I love seeing the kickoff back in the game with a dynamic kickoff. I think that's awesome. But yeah, you should be able to onside it whenever the hell you want. Why not? I understand you have to declare it, but why the hell, if I want to declare it, can I not declare it in the third quarter? Like, if I'm down 31 points, dude, I need to start onside kicking before the fourth quarter starts.
Yes, indeed. And how about the rule that maybe looks like it was instituted for DK?
What, not allowed to touch fans rules? Like, does that have to be instituted? I don't know what you're talking about, so you gotta help me out here.
Let me recite for you, Donkey, regarding player discipline and replay. Enables NFL league office to consult with on-field officials to disqualify a player for flagrant actions, even if no penalty was called on the field.
Yes, and yes, because I know you want to say it's the DK rule, but I think you're wrong. I think it's for I don't know who Detroit was playing, but it's when Amon-Ra St. Brown punched the dude twice in the face, so the dude turned around and retaliated with an open hand. That guy got kicked out of the game and suspended a week. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't even get a fine from the NFL because no flag was thrown on the play against him. Yes, that should happen. This garbage where the second guy's the only one who gets caught. Dude, we have cameras now. We review everything. Why the hell is it still only the second guy gets penalized? Yes. Supported 100%.
That's what's happening, Donkey. I saw that. To me, it felt like an attack on DK, but I definitely remember the incident that you're talking about could definitely be applied there.
That's the one that comes to my mind. And there was a couple other ones this year. Was it Jalen? Who's the defensive lineman for the frickin' Eagles? The guy who went after Dak when Dak spit at him, and then Dak gets away with being innocent because they didn't flag me. I was just spitting type of BS, dude. Like that garbage needs to be gone. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that stuff needs to be gone, man. These people who are instigating the garbage should get the same dang thing that they deserve. It should be reviewable. Yes, please sign me up for that. More of this not getting unlucky garbage, but hey, you both did something, you both deserve something. Because I'm not saying the second people in this don't deserve what they get, but the first person deserves it too, right? It's like there are 3 or 4 games I can think of where huge penalties were called on the second guy, and the first guy gets away scot-free, right? And it's a changing point in the game. It almost happened to Seattle in their playoff run. Like, you just can't let something like Jalen Ramsey's a great example of this, right? You can't let Jalen Ramsey hitting somebody and then getting hit and flopping change a game, right? That you just can't.
It could happen.
Has happened. Not as a Steeler, though, so I'll give Jalen a little bit of a cushion there. All right, that's good. I like that, Gingy. I like that. We got to get a little donkey rant before anything happened. Anything else on your radar? Any other rules that I have no idea about?
Nothing crazy else that I saw on that list, Donkey. My favorite was obviously trying to bring special teams back into the fold a little bit, being able to call an onside kick at any point in the game rather than just the fourth quarter, as long as you declare it. Okay, I like it, Donkey.
Yeah, fair. Without a doubt, super fair. All right, Gingy, then let's rotate into this. Let's rank the defensive players' performance this year. And by the way, for everybody who's looking, I'm not ranking these players based off of their money. We can talk about how the money compares to the production level. We are just rating the performance that they gave for the position they were in. And let's start on the defensive line. Week 1 starters, Cameron Hayward, Derek Harmon, and Keanu Benton. Listed on the depth chart, obviously Harmon was hurt, right? But those were the listed starters. Cam Hayward, let's start there, Gingy. Solid B+ for me. I understand PFF rated him as the best end in football. Just didn't get to the quarterback enough for me to put him in the A category. But I think a really solid start here at a B+ for, the man who is kind of become the pseudo GM here in Pittsburgh, Cam Hayward.
I don't know, Donkey. I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A starting out. I think that was solid play, what we expected. Performed up to contract, I believe. Especially when you talk about veteran presence on that defense. Any leadership on the Steelers is in high demand right now. And frankly, I think that's really the only player in that locker room with a voice loud enough to do anything.
Fair enough. Let's move on then. Derek Harmon, I give him a B-. The play when he was on the field was really good. Obviously, there were lapses. He's a rookie, but that doesn't give you an excuse for the lapse. I think B- is a solid area for him, mainly because when he was on the field, really good, but he missed a little bit of time as well, and that has to be factored in. So that's where I land on Harmon, Gingy.
I'll agree with you on that one, Donkey. B- is a fair assessment. I think C+ would be a little bit too harsh given what upsides I did see on the field, but availability is key, and that grade goes down if availability continues to lack in the future.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now we move on to Keanu Benton. Man, I hate to do this to him because I feel the Steelers play him out of position, and I think he could be a monster if used correctly. But based off playing the nose and based off the teams were running at him and running over him when he was on the field, I know he could get after the quarterback. He has to be a C bordering to C- to me, Gingy. He'll get a passing grade where he's a playable starter, but man, it's just barely for me.
Yeah, I'm probably lingering into even the D region. Really,
Ooh, he needs some summer school.
Need to see more production from that position. Steelers, just given the fact that we run a 3-4, right? We do run them out of position, but that position is so key in a 3-4 defense that it needs to almost be your superstar.
Agreed. I'm down with that. Let's move to the outside linebackers now. Let's start with the man, TJ Watt. 7.5 sacks. Man, if this was comparing to contract, he would get an F. But luckily, I said that's not what we're doing. We're rating the player here. 7.5 sacks, outside linebacker in a 3-4. Not very good against the run this year. he did force some fumbles. He did get some interceptions. So I'll say that's a saving grace that makes this grade a C plus and not a C minus, was his ability to create turnovers. But still, not good enough, in my opinion, to be, great players at those A's and above average starters in that B range. I think he's just borderline outside of that above average player constantly this year for me. That's where the C plus falls.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Donkey. I think it's a fair C. I can't not completely disregard contract implications when it comes to this. When a contract actively disallows other pieces from being added to the defense, you need to be those pieces. You need to be 1.5, 2.0, 2.5 guys if necessary. Not fair, but true. And unfortunately, that was not the mark that he hit this season. I feel he was very injury plagued. Somewhat has been throughout his career from time, but he showed up in a couple games, but not as much as we needed him.
Yeah, fair enough. We move on now. Let's go. Alex Highsmith. Biggest thing that's going to knock Highsmith for me is plain and simple. He missed 4 games. I think he ends up with like 9.5 sacks. Really improved his run defense, Gingy. I am beyond happy to see that. Not something I expected. But the availability is such an important thing here. He's also going to match TJ Watt with a C+, and it's not because of his play when he was on the field. It's just there wasn't enough of his play on the field for me.
I'm going to go with B- there, Donkey. I think that he stepped up. Minor step up this year. Again, availability is an issue. 4 games on the outside. I think it's just really noticeable because I don't think we're super deep in those areas at defense. Really noticeable when those guys don't show up because Steelers really predicated on the pass rush. And Alex Highsmith did get home enough for me to put him in the B category.
All right, I respect that without a doubt. Close enough in the ratings here. We really haven't varied much through this. Maybe we're going to start varying with each other here at these 2 day 1 starters. Patrick Queen, man, another guy. Thank God I'm not putting money into consideration in this because he actually gets to me a passable grade. I'm going to give him a C-, and the reason is, Gingy, this is the first time since Patrick Queen's been a Steeler that I actually said, wow, he looks good in a couple games. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still 4 games where, my God, he was the worst player on the Steelers' defense. But his liabilities and pass coverage, they finally let him blitz the quarterback, and that let him make some big game-changing plays. Like, specifically, I think he won us one of those Baltimore Raven games pretty much on his own with the game he had. So I give him a passing grade because while there's a lot of bad moments, the tackling at times could be better. The out of position, like you're a middle linebacker, you have to be able to cover. The fact that he can't cover at all is a killer. But this season we let him rush the passer, and I think that gets him to where he gets a passing grade at C-.
I can't differ with you too much, but Donkey, for me, I find him more to be a liability than an asset in today's NFL. I mean, yes, you are correct. We did find some upside, but I don't think that upside is enough to justify where we're at with this guy right now.
That's fair. The next one is Peyton Wilson, and he's going to be my first dude who needs to go to summer school. I can't give him anything above a D. A great interception. I think it was in the Jets game where he just kind of rolls through and steals the football. That was a great moment for him. But, man, a guy with Peyton Wilson's type of speed, I expected so much more explosive plays in terms of tackles for loss or ability to cover the tight end. And let's be honest, Gingy, he just didn't perform in those areas.
I disagree, Donkey. I'm giving Peyton a C+. I've seen some explosive plays from him. Maybe, where do we differ on this? Maybe your overall expectation from him is a little bit higher than mine. Yes, I guess he is a starter on week 1, but overall, I think that he did enough for us to continue looking at his development moving forward.
I don't think that saying he didn't have plays is where we differentiate. I think it's you're grading off of an expectation for him, where I'm grading off was he starter quality, right? I'm not looking for a guy to develop that. I wasn't nice to Keanu Benton or developing guys or well, I can't think Derek Harmon. It's you're graded off what your performance was, and as a NFL player, man, it wasn't good enough in my opinion. That's where my main thing is.
I disagree,
But let's
Donkey. I
move
like
on.
this performance. I like it. That's the first one we disagreed on. That's okay.
Moving on, we'll go Darius Slay, and I don't think I could put a bigger F than possibly you could put there. I believe me and you both questioned this signing about his age and his ability to still keep up when we made it, especially for the money they gave him. But Gingy, look, if you watch Steelers football, you watch Darius Slay play, I don't think an F is a low enough grade.
Yeah, if we're talking grades on the grading scale, can we get a DNF or an I, perhaps, for incomplete or did not finish the season?
No, it was completely terrible.
It was completely terrible, unfortunately.
Like DNF
Donkey.
is if you tore your Achilles in preseason. This dude just sucked.
Okay, I see what you did there. Yeah, I get it, Donkey. Major F.
Yeah,
Really,
without a doubt.
Bad decision. Too late in his career, and I definitely hurt the Steelers more than he helped them.
It's one of the things that I think led to Mike Tomlin leaving was everyone was starting to question all these Tomlin guys getting signed at the end of his career. And, well, I don't think he wanted to hear the questions about that type of thing anymore. We'll move on to the other bring-in, Jalen Ramsey, brought in a trade. I struggle with this one, Gingy, because he struggled in coverage, but he made some great plays. And he moved to safety and was really a solidifying force there. But should he get credit for being better than Juan Thornhill? Like, he wasn't a great safety, but he was better than what we had. So I really struggle with this one. But when I look back at it, he forced some turnovers. And to me, when you force multiple turnovers as a defensive back and you don't give up huge touchdown numbers, which he didn't, I have to give you at least a B- grade. So that's where I fall. But I really struggled putting this in that area.
Another slight difference for us here, Donkey. I'm going B+ for Jalen Ramsey. Overall, a solid pickup. It was able to make some outstanding plays. And overall, his versatility saved our butts when we were thin all the way across our secondary. That, to me, is what I think differentiates between the minus and the plus sign for me. Is, if we're talking about performance on the field, with a guy with the ability to play versatile in multiple positions, I really think that saved our defense's butt in a big way last year.
All right, I can absolutely respect that without any question to it, for better or worse. Now this is a dude who can I rate him differently for first half to second half of the season, because when the Steelers allowed him to play press coverage, Joey Porter Jr. showed you what made him the 32nd overall pick in a draft. He showed that ability to shut down. But, man, he was so handsy in the first half of the season when he was playing off coverage. I don't know how to grade him, because that first half, like first 7 games, liability. Last 5 games, shut down monster. I have to give him a B+. He's so close to getting to that A range for me when they used him the way I've been saying since we drafted him we need to use him. But I can't overlook the start of the year, Gingy. I have to stay at B+ for Joey Porter Jr.
I'm going to say a B+ as well. I think that this is a B+ with a major upswing, though, Donkey. And let
Hell
me
yeah,
tell
it's like
you
an
why.
A+ the last 5 weeks.
Well, and I'm going to tell you why. When we're talking about a handsy guy, I still think that he is going to be that way throughout his career. However, these wily veterans, though, they start finding better ways to do it. And I see Joey Porter Jr. is going to is going to develop into one of those guys who can find sneakier ways. And listen, in a modern day NFL, you know they want the points, so this guy's got a target on him, right? So, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to continue to develop those skills, and I'm seeing some major upside and potential there.
To me, Gingy, it's not even that complicated. Like, you're like, he's going to learn these ways to do it. You don't have to. Look at the way Seattle played both their corners, who were more handsy than Porter. The thing is, when you play these guys press coverage, the refs let them play. When you play them 10 yards off the line, they get called every time. The simple way to make Joey Porter Jr. an elite corner, Gingy, it doesn't have anything to do with him. It's the coaching staff. If he plays press 90% of the time, he's going to be an elite corner, Gingy. It's that simple. And I don't think it's even worth discussing. It's that simple in my opinion.
Donkey says it's unquestionable.
Without a doubt, dude. If you watch him play in press, he's good. I'm not afraid to say that. All right, now we move on to Deshaun Elliott and Gingy. The reason I say an injury is the reason you get this is this guy right here. Huge player for the Steelers, but hurt the whole year. He gets an incomplete grade, only 5 games, and when he played, he looked pretty good. So I'm going to give him an incomplete because I don't think 5 games is enough to judge off.
Yeah, 5 games not enough to judge off of. But what do you think for when he was out there?
He was the best safety we had on the team. Very solid B player is what I'd say. I'd say he's a very solid player. It wasn't, he's not Troy Polamalu. Hell, he's not Ryan Clark, but he's just below that level, right? And Ryan Clark, to me, was always a solid B plus type of player. You don't talk about him, but he makes plays every now and then. That's what you need, and I think that's where Elliott really was for us. He was there, he was solid, he was making plays, doing what he's supposed to do, making sure the back end of that defense stayed together.
Tough to lose him for the year. Yeah, really what I considered probably one of the most surefire tacklers on the team. Tough to judge off of what we saw, but I think that was a major loss.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I believe the other safety listed as a starting safety in week 1 was Juan Thornhill. Oh, my God, Gingy. Another capital left here. There's 2 in the secondary, and Juan Thornhill's the other capital left. I mean, he lost his job so damn quick.
Yeah, a couple guys brought in the offseason there, as you notice. Neither one of them worked out.
No, but we can thank the Patriots for cutting their whole secondary. Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar come over, make some good news in there for the Steelers. Gingy, I feel we're pretty solid there on the rankings. Based off of that, is there any backups you think should get talked about, like Nick Herbig, Sawyer, Kyle Duggar coming in midway through the season?
That's what I was going to say.
Maybe Brandon Eccles, who stepped up a little bit.
I think we should talk about all those guys. Well, because Eccles is gone, right?
He's still on the team.
Is he still here? Okay, never mind.
We signed him to a 2-year deal.
Then it's Duggar. Do we keep or does he go? Did he do enough? Just take a start.
If he wants to
take a shot at starter.
He wants $3 million. He can come and fight for a job. He's a guy. I'll say he made some plays. He did some stuff that was impressive. More so that he did it on the week he signed than the actual gameplay. Right. I would say I give him a solid C, man. And based off the way he came in and what he came into, being a solid C is not a negative, is what I'll say for Kyle Duggar.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that he should get a shot. I think that he should get a shot to compete.
And then we can move on. We can talk about the 2 corners who kind of got some playing time due to injuries or Darius Slade sucking, right? That's Brandon Eccles, and of course, he who shall not be named, James Pierre. Good luck in Minnesota, young man, although you're not that young anymore. 2 other guys I also give solid C's to, right? They both got beat a little bit from time to time. They both showed why they were backups, but both made plays. I mean, James Pierre, arguably couple huge plays in it. Brandon Eccles, a couple huge interceptions, including one in the end zone that I remember specifically. I think a C is where I'll put them because, man, let's be honest here. Their play wasn't great, but versus expectations, hell yeah, they made starter level plays from not starter level expectations, surpassing expectations by a lot for both of those guys for me to put them at a C, Gingy.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. But C's quality. Okay, maybe quality, but capable NFL starters.
I call it quality play. It's not bad to call it quality play, man. Being a starter level player is quality play, so I like what you use there.
Yeah, it's
no extraordinary. No
Consistency
extraordinary.
is key. Yeah,
a lot of
consistency
ordinary.
is key.
But hey, sometimes all you need is a little bit of ordinary to be extraordinary as a team.
And that'll get you a C. Absolutely.
Yep. Let's move on here. Let's go to middle linebackers. The backups for most of the year were guys like Malik Harrison. No, D play without a doubt. He's just not good enough.
Yeah, I don't think so either, Donkey.
Maybe even E level play because I don't think he deserves to join the other people that I put in summer school. So maybe an E.
Yeah, F level play. Not starter capable, Donkey. Not in my opinion.
Like I said, I feel starter level is like that C level. That's why I was not as harsh. But to be fair, dude, once you get below a C, it doesn't really matter. Like, unless you're a D. A D gets you summer school, so that kind of matters. Let's keep it nonsensical. Let's keep it moving. Outside linebackers, we have Sawyer and Herbig. And, man, if baby Herbig could run stop, he would be something. Because his pass rushing is some of the best on the Steelers. But, dude, his run, he just can't stop the run. He falls at a B-, which, if you're grading here, I graded him higher than TJ Watt.
Yeah, I still think that he's at a B level for me. I see enough upside on the pass rush. He's making plays, right? When you're talking about ordinary and extraordinary, okay, so maybe he's not extraordinary overall, finding him out of position sometimes, but extraordinary on the pass rush, Donkey, makes a difference.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's good there. Jack Sawyer, for me, gets a C-. You didn't see enough of him, and he made some plays. He was also out on a lot of plays. But think about this. A fourth-round rookie who didn't play much, I'm putting him in NFL starter-level ratings already as a backup. That's how much he showed me. I think there's a huge up arrow on this guy. It's just I can't put him in that category yet because I saw enough of the flaws that you saw. He needs to cover those up. But based just off his play and as limited as it was, I think a C- is a really solid grade for him to earn as a rookie in a number 4 outside linebacker role.
I agree. Also made a couple plays memorable, right?
For jumping interceptions off bounces, a little strip sack, I believe.
Exactly. For a guy in that position, not coming from a really high value draft pick, Donkey, again, starter, if we're measuring against starter capable, though, just barely a passing grade.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yep, that's
C-.
I like it. Let's move on. I guess we can talk a little bit of the younger guys in the front, too. Waya Black, for me, gets a D. I need to see you in summer school. You played some snaps. You played okay sometimes. You didn't play okay more often than you played okay. There were a couple plays in there this year he made that were good plays. I believe he might have also had an interception, or I might just be crazy and losing my mind. Both are possible.
He did.
But
he did.
Nice. All right, just fat guy interceptions. Love them. So he'll get a D for me from that, Gingy.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, starter capable, D-. Yeah, didn't see enough, but has upside, though, to be honest. Young.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
And I see upside there. Starter capable, potential. Definitely good in the rotation. again, when we're talking about starter versus player, right? Decent player. I think good to get some guys some rest. We do need as much depth as we can get there, and he's good depth at this point. Hopefully, I'd like to see him take that jump into starter capable, though.
Without a doubt. I don't think there's any other defensive linemen that are even worth talking about. I don't think enough of them got snaps. Maybe one more person who deserves talked about. Of course, oh man, why can't I think of what the heck his name was? Our other safety that we had other than Thornhill at the start of the year. He played a lot this season. Chuck Clark. D, okay? You were a backup. When you were on the field, you looked like a backup. You weren't terrible. You were an NFL level backup. I think that means you're a D. That's all I can give Chuck Clark.
You said something about an E grade earlier?
Yep, I gave one of those because he doesn't get to go to summer school.
I don't know if he gets to go to summer school. He worked his way through the season, but I don't know if he gets another shot for me. But
that's fair. That's fair enough. Like if we were to bring him back to be a special teams guy who's like a number 4 or number 5 safety type, wouldn't hate it. You know, fill the Miles Killebrew role. Wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't be a move where I'm like, yeah, dude, Super Bowl. You know, ain't none of that.
Right.
All right, well, there's our ratings for the defense. Tell us what you think. Tell us where we're wrong, and tell us how you feel we're wrong. Now, remember, ratings don't include money, because if they included money, there'd be some people in there, TJ Watt, who would definitely be in summer school, because I need to see you, okay? Detention time, son. But, Gingy, we got to keep it nonsensical, so we got to keep it talking the crazy stuff. My God, is Aaron Rodgers coming back at $30 million? Because allegedly it's only money that's holding up the deal, Gingy. And you know the Steelers always cave to the old types. So $30 million, Aaron Rodgers, part two.
30 million, what? No, that's not what we agreed to. That's not what I agreed to, Donkey. That's not at all what I agreed to.
Well, we can't get Flacco. He just went to, like, Cincy, I think. So no Flacco. We have to have an old guy. That's the rules, right?
No, Donkey. Just say it. So we can't be. I mean, that's a better 30 million spent than Aaron Rodgers, I'd say, but I don't know, Donkey.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I watched both of them quarterback last year, and I don't agree with you. Full stop. I just don't. Aaron Rodgers. No, say what you will. Aaron Rodgers, when he played last year, looked like a top 20 quarterback. Take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying he was elite. Kirk Cousins did not look like a starter. Maybe he did. You know what? If you squinted hard enough, but I guess your argument could be he's a couple years younger, right? Is that what your argument is?
That's what the argument is, yeah. Not as when we're out there, we have to play a certain game for Rodgers because he's kind of brittle.
Dude, Kurt, there's no difference. They're both old and slow. This is like arguing if a 2.66 is better than a 2.6, or excuse me, a 4.66 is better than a 4.67 for runtime on the 40. It's both kind of just terrible, right?
Yeah, I can get behind that. Both kind of terrible.
Gingy, other fun thing I saw out there. Tom Brady wasn't allowed to make a comeback because he's part owner of a football team. Are you buying that that's something that actually happened in the NFL?
No.
That the NFL told Tom Brady he wasn't allowed to do a comeback because he was part of a team? Or do you think some sports writers are just trying to get clicks?
I think that's clickbait, Donkey. Has to be.
Oh, man. Dude, let's run it back with TB12.
Oh, because the NFL, I think, would do anything
Brady.
to get him back.
I'm not talking Brady, Gingy. The original TB12. Let's put Bradshaw back there.
Oh, my God.
You
might as well at that point. You might as well. But I think the NFL would really eat that deal right up if it was trying to happen. I think that would be some big ratings for them. They'd find a way.
Did you ever see that commercial where it's like Jerry Rice and Emmett Smith and Randy Moss, and they're all pretending they could go suit up and still play?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Quite hilarious.
Don't ask me why I'm having such a good time with this right now, but oh man, that brought a smile to my face, and sometimes that's all you need. One last topic I'd like to talk about here, Gingy, and I haven't done my research on this yet. This weekend I'm going to watch a few games. I'm going to look at some rosters. I'm going to see who I like. But spring football's back, and every now and then there is a player who makes his case to be an NFL player. I mean, Bates, the kicker for Detroit, Turpin, the wide receiver for Dallas. You interested at all to watch some spring football and maybe see some guys get a chance?
Heck yeah, donkey. Why not? Let's see it.
Yeah, for sure. And also,
We're
Gingy,
desperate.
I think the spring football dude was talking about wanting to expand to 32 teams. Man, I said before, I'd love to see this be a minor league system where when you draft people, you can send them to your spring team and not risk losing them to everybody else. You know, you get like 20 protected spots for your spring team roster. Gingy, it's getting closer.
Makes sense.
Minor league
It makes
football.
sense. It makes sense, donkey. It would be a good development I think, right?
Hell, do you know how much
Especially
money
for quarterbacks.
Do you know how much money that would input into one, spring football, and two, the NFL by bringing in developmental people? And yes, that's exactly the position. Could you imagine a quarterback getting sent down there who's you're not going to send your starter down there, right? Because you don't want to worry about that. But let's say Minnesota really wants to see some more of J.J. McCarthy. And I understand the hardest problem here is going to be contracts and how it works. But I think anyone on a rookie deal can get sent to the spring league team without accepting assignment, right? So it'll be like a minor league thing where you try to option someone down like baseball does. There's option years for those people who are young. That should be a thing. And that'd be so cool. Like, could you imagine us actually getting to see Will Howard play football against a higher level than college before we have to decide if we need to draft someone else? Because I think you get 4 weeks of spring football before the draft. Dude, if Will Howard goes out there and looks like a god, you know what we say? Hey, quarterback's not a need, Gingy.
Exactly. I love that idea. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be so fun and bring interest to it. And poor baseball would lose so many people who watched the beginning of the baseball season because they'd be like, football!
More football.
And there's no doubt which one is the behemoth, which one is the Goliath in here. I lied, Gingy. This is what I talked about last week and you weren't here, so this is why I lied. Flag football happened. There were a couple teams made of NFL players, former or past, that are all pretty big names. They took on the Team USA, current Team USA flag football team, and they kind of got their butts romped.
Well, are you surprised?
No, because it's a different game. I'm surprised that NFL players think they deserve to be in the Olympics over these dudes who dedicate themselves to flag. Man, flag football is different than tackle football. It's just that simple to say. It's like softball versus baseball. It's just a different sport, honestly. And watching those NFL people try to pull flags was hysterical, Gingy. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's a different game. Like you said, it takes a little bit of a different skill set. I mean, still some football knowledge there that does transfer, obviously, but not all of it.
Yeah, I'm not here to say that the NFL players, if they dedicated themselves to this, couldn't be better than the flag players. Not at all what I'm saying. But I'm saying, dude, these flag players are better flag players today than the NFL players are today. And the NFL players aren't going to give up a year of the NFL to train to be a better flag player. So Olympics probably should be the best flag players.
I agree.
But yeah, I just thought that was entertaining. Any last topics from you, Gingy?
That's all the nonsense I have in my brain this week, really.
I'm with you on that. You know, ratings aren't the most nonsensical thing, but we try to give you a little off-the-cuff stuff, you know, little talk here or there. A shout-out, Gingy, or, you know, off-season about that life?
I'm not interested in that, nah.
All right. Well, I got to give a shout-out. The Pirates traded for and signed a couple power hitters this year, and it actually worked out mediocrely well. Brandon Lau hits 2 home runs in his debut as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Cool to see, even though we won't talk about how the game ended. And Ryan O'Hearn hits a home run. So shout out to those 2 Pirates coming in. And since it is baseball season, I'll give a little talk to that. But now I gotta let you know, I am the Viking Donkey. It's Viking_Donkey at Twitch or Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger is an awesome YouTube channel where you get this content. I know I teased a lot of new stuff coming, but yo, I have been beyond sick for a while, and it's been terrible. Hopefully the spring comes. Hopefully I get better. Hopefully this content I've teased you gets to actually come. But Gingy, they love your sign-outs. Let them know.
Mutant Gingy in the house. We hanging out. We talking nonsensical. What? 1 month away from the draft. Maybe pull me for a shout-out then, Donkey. Let them know.